What's up, everybody? Welcome to Doc's Daily. It's Friday. It's May 16th. It's middle of May. Let's just let that sink in for a minute. Welcome to Doc's Daily. I'm Detroit Lenny. In case you don't know, now you know. Where's Craig is the theme of this show. We have a theme every Friday. That's our theme today. Where could Craig be? So Houdini. If you have a thought of where Craig could be in the world today, because we don't know, just drop it in the comments section, and hopefully you can help us find Craig today. With me is Robert, as always, on Friday. Nick, Griffin, thanks for joining in, everybody. I'm going to tell you guys something that Craig never tells you. Put in the comment sections what you're on today, people watching. I want to know the madness that you're on. Whatever weird shit you're into, sports related. Let's be clear. No feet pictures. Put it in the comments section. Picks, parlays, props. I want it all. I want all the smoke. Robert wants to hear. In fact, tag Robert on Twitter. All your parlays for today, just tag him. Go ahead.
As soon as you said the word, I thought myself.
I saw you cringe. Yeah. All right, so guys, we'll just start. I don't have access to what everybody's got going on. So Nick, we'll start here. We'll go around the horn. Tell us what you got going on today. How you doing? What's happening? How's Arizona?
Yeah, yesterday we had, I think, only 8 plays across the board. So we went 1-1. Hit my hockey play with the Winnipeg Jets. That was good. But today I have actually my first 7-unit prop of the year going off in baseball. That play goes off at 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is actually a strikeout prop on a pitcher. So make sure to check that one out over there. But lower volume, we got one game on the NHL ice. I actually have 2 plays, though. I have this total and the side in that one, and we have a 2-pack on the Major League Baseball. Nothing too crazy here, getting ready for a big weekend on slate, but that's what I got going on at the website today, Lenny.
Sounds good. Griffin, what do you got going on?
Yeah, Lenny. So today I've got 3 plays in MLB, very small volume. I liked the card today, but I'm trying to keep my volume at a very nice, significant range for the next few weeks, and then I'm going to start popping heavy. As baseball's kind of in that situation right now where within the next month, that's when you really have all of the data throughout all of your players versus players, algorithms, all the systems start really kicking in. So that's usually my favorite time of the season, this next upcoming month. Once we get into April, things start to get, June, things start to pop a little bit harder. So 3 plays in MLB today. I have a 3-unit NBA selection and a 3-unit NHL selection, as well as a 4-unit NBA player prop and the NBA playoff matchup tonight, Lenny. That's what I've got in action today. Full slate of cards, just a little bit lower volume today.
I like it. Robert, how about you? What do you got going on?
I passed in everything yesterday, and it was glorious. A little man, I didn't take that over in that basketball game last night. We talked about it on camera yesterday. We gave out a lot of winners yesterday. Actually,
yeah, yesterday was a pretty good show. If you tailed show picks, you did good.
Yeah, Winnipeg, the baseball picks. Yeah, we did all right yesterday. So I guess I should have used them as rated plays. Big weekend, WNBA starting. So I have my first WNBA play today. Very excited that is back. Great market, great under the radar way to pad your stack, because the sports books and the odds makers, they absolutely do not care about the WNBA. So you get soft lines all summer long. Like Griffin, I like today's baseball card. I actually have 9 plays on the board, but anybody that's played along with me knows that I may have more plays, but they're rated smaller. Like my top play today is just a 3-unit play. I got a bunch of 1- and 2-unit plays, but it feels like a really good card. I will have a 7-unit play tomorrow. Preakness picks tomorrow. I will have a 7-unit head-to-head matchup along with some exactas and trifectas and all that fun stuff. And yeah, that's it. Nothing for the NBA. I like the Knicks. We'll get into that a little bit, but just don't love the game. As I've talked about, I'm ready for the NBA and NHL to be over. Like, I just don't see the value right now with one game on the board, right? Like, you may win or lose your bet. You may win or lose your bet tonight, but you're not like finding value. At least that's the way I see it. Some other handicappers love just having one game and they get in a groove and they just rock, but not me. So that's that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I mean, it's the NBA anyway. Like, and there's already only one game. It's limited spots to find spots kind of thing. But before we go too farther, don't let me forget here, because I always will. New customers get free $60 account, DocSports.com, free 60. Follow the link in the description. Go to the website. A monkey could do it. So can you. Just get yourself $60 right there. Park it in your account. Use it on any one of these guys. Any one of these guys. You can break that 60 up into any which way you want. Week pass, day pass, whatever you want. Sport, prop, this, that, or whatever. You do you, Pikachu. Let's talk NBA, though, real quick, because you mentioned this, the Knicks. I'm just going to tell you, I only see value, me personally, as Joe Public. Let's just be clear about this, too. For anybody watching, I don't sell picks like these guys on the site. I'm not an expert handicapper or whatever you want to label them. I'm a degenerate. Okay, I'm the public. I'm me. I'm you watching. That's how I got this gig, was trolling in the chat because I thought I was smarter than the average pair. So I look at this and I'm like, Boston's got momentum. They sure in the hell look going into this series. I thought Boston would win this series. So why would me as Joe Public degenerate not be on Boston at plus 130? Take it from there. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, it is interesting how much the lines have changed from early in the season, in the series, right? Like game 1, game 2, they were like 11-point favorites, 10.5-point favorites. You know, even at home last game without Jason Tatum, they're 5.5-point favorites. You're telling me Jason Tatum's worth 5 points on the line? I don't really understand that. And now we have the Knicks favored at home where they were 5.5-point underdogs in their first home game. So an 8-point swing. So I understand where you're coming from there, but I just don't think Boston's going to do it. And I don't want to keep burning money waiting for them to click on the light switch. I mean, you saw what the Garden was looking like earlier in the week in game 4. Okay. And it was just an avalanche of emotion that Boston was not prepared for. And they really got run out of the gym. That game really was never close. Talk about Tatum all you want. As we've discussed, their metrics and their numbers this year are actually better in the games that he doesn't play. But for me, the reason I don't like Boston right now, and I think that they're failing, is Porzingis. Whatever it is, like whatever ailment he has or illness or whatever's going on with him, he has not been the same guy. When they got him, that's when they really took off. He is what really propelled them to the championship last year, is that he was just a mismatch nightmare. Defensively, what he brings to the table, he's not playing like that. He's not the same guy. So now you're telling me that New York has the advantage on the interior with their big guys and their big bodies. And right now their guards are at least playing equal with what Boston is bringing to the table. So I got the better interior. I got the home crowd. I just think the Knicks do it. I do.
Fair enough. And part of me thinks that too, because you could see the other, like Boston might have just unloaded the tank in game 5. Right. And that's just what they got. And that's it, you know, and I don't know. Griffin, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I mean, the truthfully, the only valued play that I would take in this game is you take Boston and win the game straight up at plus 120. But realistically, what I'm looking at this is team totals. And right now, Boston is 104.5 is their team total right now. I think they go over tonight. This matchup is a do or die situation. Their backs are against the wall, both teams. I mean, New York loses this game. They're headed back to Boston for game 7. They most definitely don't want to do that. I believe both of these teams are going to come out strong offensively. And to your point, Robert, I agree. Porzingis has been bad. This is not the same series we can talk about to that Cleveland-Indiana series. That was a mismatch series. Boston is simply playing bad basketball in this series. They should be playing a lot better. They should have doused New York in this series. With Tatum being out, that draws the public attention as well to poor offense on Boston's aspect. In my eyes, that's the Trapp incentive as well. Give me the over 104.5 Boston's team total. I think they go over in this one, Lenny.
I like that angle. I struggle to find angles on that game. NBA games just in general, you know, the NBA stands for no betting allowed, in my opinion. I'm just saying. You know, but Nick, what are your thoughts before we move? We'll move on to NHL here.
Yeah, I got 2 confluences. One from Robert and him saying that Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics, they don't miss a beat without him in the lineup. I believe they're 9-1 or 10-1 on the season without him in the lineup. And then Griff's standpoint, he thinks the Celtics are going to go over the team total in points. I'm looking at the total in this game here. This is the New York Knicks. They want to win and end this series here in front of their hometown. They're going to score points, but this Boston Celtics team, they don't miss a beat here without Tatum. They score points as well. Griff likes that over in the total points in the Celtics. I like the over here in the full game, 210.5. I just think that in order for the Knicks to close this game out, they are going to have to keep up with this Celtics team. Even though they don't have Jason Tatum, they still have Brown, and I believe he scored 24 points in the last game. I think he continues scoring points for this offense because without Jason Tatum, and I think the Celtics do go over that team total. I like the over in this game, 210.5 points. I think this one goes over easily in this game here, Lenny.
8-2, they are straight up without Tatum. So yeah, and they're 5-1 in their last 6.
And we talked about this yesterday with the total. We all like the over in that Denver game. Similar situation here, right? The deeper we get into these playoff series, the more I like the value with the over. If the Knicks are out in front at halftime, like desperation's going to kick in for Boston. They're going to start shooting more threes. They're going to be running quicker offense. Like a little bit of panic sets in those instances, and that's going to lead to more possessions and more points. So I agree with both of you that I like the team totals over, and I like the over in this game, and I still think the Knicks are going to win.
That's fair. I think you could make an argument for a side either way, but I think the consensus here is some maybe team total or total game over. I think basically urgency equals points for me.
Yes.
Whenever there's more urgency in a game, I think more points. I could see this game going into overtime. And then boom, that plays to your over and all that. So I mean, I don't know, but here, there, whatever. I'm Irish, so I'm going with the Celtics. My grandmother would probably hit me if I did it. So, but just to be clear, it's bad boys for life. Okay, I'm just saying. Let's switch gears though to the NHL. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, drop in the comment sections what you're into, this, that, or whatever. Player props, totals, sides, no feet pictures. I can't keep telling people this. Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers. It's very simple for me. I'm a Red Wing guy. I'm an original 6 guy. These cats in Florida, I don't like them. Don't like nothing about them. Don't like nothing about them. Never have, never will. It'll be the Lightning. That's the Florida team for me. Florida, the Florida Panthers. I don't know what the hell's going. I don't like it. I'm on the Leafs. It's the wrong decision. They will let you down. They have if the Leafs lose this game, I don't mean to joke about this, but somebody should be checking in on your Toronto Maple Leaf fans.
Yeah.
If you have friends that are Leafs fans, you should be calling them tonight and just saying hi, giving them a virtual hug or something. Robert talked about this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to feel like Charlie Brown with losing the ball with Toronto, because I came on early in the playoffs and was like, look, I think there's something different about this Toronto team. I had them going to the Eastern Conference Final.
I agree.
I believed in them. I've invested my money in them, and they've done what they always do, which is just be losers at this time of the year. You know, I'm not going to put as much of it on Toronto, though. Like, Florida's just a really good team. They're exceptional. I don't know if anybody's going to stop them, to be completely honest with you. That series with Carolina is going to be a war, I think. That being said, I still don't really understand the money line in this. I'm like, is San Jose playing today? Like, are the Blackhawks playing? Like, Toronto is plus 200 in a playoff game. The puck line on this game, you can get 1.5 goals in a playoff game and only lay minus 130. I haven't really understood what's been going on with Florida's money lines, even in that Tampa Bay series. Like all playoffs on, but they keep winning, so maybe the books know and I don't. But for me, the value is Toronto or nothing. I just don't see, like, how are you supposed to play Florida in this? You're not even getting appropriate value if you lay the 1.5 goals. So this goes back to what I was saying earlier in the show. This time of year, one game on the board, like give me a Tuesday in January or a Friday in January when I have like 10 NHL games and I can find 1 or 2 soft numbers. But like with all the focus on this, it's just a stay away situation for me, really.
I'm going to totally cap off on what Robert said as well. And, you know, I've got to say, Tony George actually put me on this when I got on Docs, and this actually changed the way I bet football forever, and it changed my profitability substantially. And I do not bet Thursday night games nor Monday night games. And there's always a reason for that. There is way too much speculation. There are way too many traps. There are way too many hidden gems in their tricks that you don't want to mess with. And that is exactly what we're dealing with right now. NBA and NHL, only one game on the board. There's all the speculation in the world. Why in the hell is Florida minus 240 on the money line when Toronto's got their backs against the ropes here and an elimination game from playoffs? It makes absolutely zero sense. There's no value taking Florida here on the puck line because you don't have an edge. You really don't. You don't know what Toronto's going to do here. They could come out and absolutely smack the hell out of them. With that being said, I like Florida here, 60-minute money line, three-way regulation at minus 125. I think that's the most fair play in this matchup. They just went in Toronto. They cleaned them up 2-0. They beat them in 8-1 when it comes to goal differential. I think that momentum carries over in tonight's matchup. I only see value in one play here tonight, and that would be taking Florida to win this game in regulation at minus 125. Otherwise, there's really nothing here. I don't like the Leafs straight up, even though they're plus 200. If you want to throw pizza money at the Leafs, that could be your best bet. If you really don't want to wager this game, that would be my best advice. Otherwise, you go 60-minute money line, win this game in regulation at minus 125. I think that's the purest play here.
Yeah, I would agree with both of you. You go both either way here. If you like the Toronto Maple Leafs, hit them with the plus 1.5 if you could see this game going into overtime. But if you think that the Florida Panthers are winning this game here tonight, take them in 60 minutes. But I'm looking at this total, ladies and gentlemen. Each game of these series but one has gone over this total, 5.5. You telling me the Toronto Maple Leafs, after just scoring one goal on their home ice, aren't going to come out here, be aggressive in a do or die situation? I think they score at least 2 to 3 goals, and this Panthers team has shown that they've answered each time that Toronto Maple Leafs have scored. So take the over here. Don't overthink it. Take over 5.5. I love this play. I think there will be goals scored in this game, and I do think that the Florida Panthers end the Toronto Maple Leafs season here on their home ice tonight, Lenny.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was on Toronto last game and they did nothing but history.
Me too.
I just want to know why this line is minus 200. History has nothing to do with the Panthers. It's everything to do with the Leafs just being a disappointing franchise when it comes to the playoffs at this point in time. And then they lay an egg and lose 6-1, which is just an ass whooping. From the puck start, from the first period to the end, it was belt to ass. And I gotta believe they bounce back in some way, shape, or form. I love the overplay. I think the value is just either on Toronto or nothing. As far as the side goes, I love the total. This is gonna be a heavyweight fight in hockey right here. This is gonna be a good hockey game because desperation hockey, NHL playoff hockey is just, bar none, I think better than any other. It's better than the NFL playoffs. It's better than everything.
Honestly, we should want Toronto to win. How much fun would a game 7
Game 7, right? That's
in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like that would be an environment. That would be a hell of a game. So
I mean,
whether you have money on it or not, let's root for Toronto to win this.
I always root for Game 7 when in NHL playoffs because there is nothing absolutely better. I just realized my neighbors decided to cut her grass, so I'm going to bounce out of here for 2 seconds while you guys talk about MLB. I'll be right back while I close my window.
All right, I'm gonna get us started here. I really like a lot of these rivalry series that are going on. Like the Mets Yankees to me is a fascinating series. The fact that the Mets, who have been the little brother in the series for decades, they have the better record, they have the better team, but they are big underdogs today in New York against Rodon. So like that's a game that I'm looking at. But my free play today, I'm actually going to the Beltway series. I like Washington. Give me the plus 110 on the Nationals against the Orioles. The Orioles are they're a really bad baseball team. Like there is nothing endearing about this team. They're starting Cade Povich. He's awful. Like he's not a major league caliber starter. He's just an arm. His ERA is nearly 6. And Mackenzie Gore is a guy I like for Washington. Just a good, solid left-handed starter. He gives them 6 innings, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts every game. And here's the key for me on what locked me in on this game. And this is one of my 9 rated plays, is the Baltimore Orioles are hitting 179 as a team against left-handed pitching. How is that even possible? 179 against left-handed pitching. And I don't think that Mackenzie Gore is just a guy. I think he's a really good starter. So I'm looking for him to go deep into this game, really control this game. He's got revenge because he lost to the Orioles in a 2-1 game back on April 24th. He was very good in that start, but couldn't get the win. But I just don't – there's no reason that Baltimore should be favored. They're not playing well. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. They're not hitting against lefties, and Washington has the better starter on the mound. So I'll take the plus money value there with the Nationals.
I like that. I like that a
I'm
lot.
all over that play too. Gore's my guy, dude. That's the race.
Yep.
That guy's absolutely great.
He's good.
He would be such a bigger name if he was with anybody else. If he was on any other team than the Nats, he'd be a huge name. Yep. But I'll take over here. I got another play here. We got the Detroit Tigers minus 115 on the money line, rolling into Toronto to play the Blue Jays. Total sitting at 8.5. Detroit, they're 29-15 on the year. Absolutely dice rolling. They're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They just swept Boston on the road in a 3-game set. They scorched 30 runs in that match or that game series. Tonight, Bowden Francis gets the start for Toronto. He's got a 2-5 record, 41.2 innings of work. He's got a 5.40 ERA. I expect the Tigers to continue this offensive eruption. Pound Toronto tonight, game 1 of this 3-game set. Give me the Tigers here, money line, minus 115 full game. I think
look at him ass kissing the substitute teacher, man. Get Lenny in here.
I didn't even realize it, man. I'll give you another one.
I'm just saying, it's Tigers first 5 full game. You name it, I got it. I'm just saying.
Good ball, man. They're playing good ball. They're certainly not a team I'm looking at. I'll just say that.
I'm riding the wave. Jack Flaherty on the mound. Yeah. I like Jack. He's started out a little rough this year, but I like Jack. I like Tigers all in every which way, shape, or form. And I know I sound like a homer, but I really think the Tigers.
Hey, how about that Javi Baez?
Javi, Nick, you're in his head, man. You're in his head.
I'm just going to say this guy was batting maybe 150. We had a nice bar talk out in Los Angeles when they played the Dodgers. Me and Javi were at the bar, and ever since, this guy's been absolutely lights out. I told him to go back to the 2016 Chicago Cubs Javi Baez swag that I know you can, and then next thing you know, this guy's an all-star here ever since we talked. Not going to take full credit, but I'm going to take full credit.
Oh, I got text messages that say differently. Messages.
Let's talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates, though. Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Phillies here. The Phillies laying a number 220 on the money line. That total sitting at 8.5. And how about the Pittsburgh Pirates? They just won against these New York Mets. They're 4-0 on Sunday here, but they're 3-7 in their last 10 games. They got Andrew Heaney on the mound here for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's 2-3, not very overpowering, has a good fastball changeup mix, but he'll be matched up against the Philadelphia Phillies. Ranger Suarez, he's 1-0 this season. He only has 10.2 innings of work, but looked phenomenal in his last start. The Phillies coming off a loss here. They're 14-8 at home. Give me the Philadelphia Phillies here on the run line over the Pittsburgh Pirates, a team that just struggles to produce on the offensive side. I like these Phillies bats to be all over Heaney tonight in this one. Take them on the run line, minus 1.5 here at home over
that is also one of my rated plays, and I'm with you 100%. You know, Suarez, you just look at the board and look at his number, you're like, oh, he's got a 6.3 OERA. He's only made 2 starts. He's coming back from injury. He got his ass lit up for 7 runs in his first start against Arizona because he's rusty, right?
Absolutely.
Shakes that off, comes out in his second start, and he looked awesome. So I'm expecting that guy to show up. Pittsburgh is another team that just doesn't hit left-handed pitching. I'm with you. I think that this game and this series is going to be a bloodbath. And just like I said with Baltimore throwing out Cade Povich, that's who Andrew Heaney is. He's just an arm. Like, he's not good. He's not good at all. He's just a guy out there throwing pitches. So, yeah, I think Philly lights him up today.
He's just a filler. He's just a filler. I really get. Yeah, I mean, that's all it is. There's some points in guys' careers where they just they're not really bullpen guys, but they're not really that middle relief guy. It's just
Kyle Hendricks is a perfect example.
Exactly.
Walk away. Actually, don't walk away. Keep starting every 5th day, man. Because
don't go nowhere.
Don't go like that.
I gotta ask, because this is outrageous. I mean, I get that the Rockies are bad, like they're bad, but Arizona's minus 400 plus on the money or whatever on the money line, like over 4. I mean, you can't. do you not like at the beginning of the year there was value just fading going against whoever was taking who playing the Rockies on a 2-team parlay with whoever's playing the Marlins. That was profitable, but now it's kind of getting priced out of that market. Is there any like when you see stuff like that as a handicapper, do you look for a different angle or do you just swipe left?
Keep betting against the Rockies. I talked about this. It might have been last week or 2 weeks ago on Dax Daily. I was like, look, just bet against them every day. Okay. Because, and this happened a lot quicker than I thought it would. I was like, in another month, meaning like early to mid-June, you're not going to be able to get a run line on them for less than -150. Okay. It was like 10 days ago that you could bet against them on the run line. And you're still laying only like -105, -110, -120, stuff like that. Today's run line is -180. That's not high enough. You're already seeing some books go right to the -2.5 with them. And even the -2.5 is -120. Okay. If the -2.5 was plus money, then I'd start hitting that up. Okay. I don't like playing run lines over -150. I get it. But Colorado just is that bad. There are not many situations in sports that come along like this where like it is just free money betting against them. They are not a major league caliber team. They maybe have 4 major league caliber players in their lineup, and none of them are pitchers. I can tell you that. So no, the books they're bumping right up against that ceiling of where the value is, and the value will never be to bet on the Rockies, right? Like we talked about this coming into the season with the White Sox. It was like, you know what? They can't be as bad as they were last year. There might actually be some value betting on the White Sox, right? We are not going to reach that point with the Rockies. There's never going to be a point where it's like, you know what? The +2.5 with the Rockies sounds good today. No, they are one of the worst baseball teams I have ever seen in my life. That's not hyperbole. Like I'm being honest. They're on pace to win like 30 games. Like that's not even in my opinion at this point. It's kind of a mathematical fact.
Like I'm looking at their depth chart right now, and I'm trying to see. Like obviously, if you see teams like this, they're obviously sellers at the trade deadline. Mate. Okay, they're not buyers. I don't see anybody really on their roster that they could probably move. There's nothing to dabble out there.
They lost Charlie Blackmon, the only good player they've ever had.
He was awesome. That guy was awesome. Loved that guy. Yeah. He's beat. Brian's out. Like, what are they going to do? Try and flip Herman Marquez? Maybe something like that. But like, who the hell wants him? Like, it's bad. There's nothing redeeming about this team, and it's not even like they can blame injuries or blame this or blame that. They are just awful at life.
Yeah, like you can in some spots. Arizona's team totals at 6.5, and the total for the game is at 9.
Do they even know who they're starting today? They didn't even have a starter.
Palmquist is getting his first.
Palmquist. I just
refreshed with 0 innings of work.
There you go. I mean, what the hell are we even talking about?
Corbin Burns Day.
What are we talking about?
Opposite arm. He could use his non-throwing arm and pitch against his team today, and he still probably goes 6 scoreless. Like, no, lay the 1.5 at -180. Again, this is another one of my rated plays.
I'm laying the 2.5. I ain't even gonna lie. I might go alternate 3.5.
We might be going to this game tonight. And
we were talking about it.
You got it. I hear a same game parlay is what I hear.
I'm going to money line the Colorado Rockies. Watch them win.
Make sure you do a short. That'll be great content. You'll be the only guy in Major League Baseball that bet the Rockies today.
There is a game, though, on the board I do want to talk about really quick.
About it.
It's the New York Mets and the New York Yankees. Yeah. Yankees at home -150 on the money line, total at 8.5. We've got 2 powerhouse lineups going head-to-head, as well as 2 powerhouse pitching matchups going head-to-head with Rodon and McGill. Both of them posting 3.0 ERAs, massive strikeout counts for both of these pitchers, in-state rivalry, which typically keeps games tight and competitive. Total sitting at 8.5. I like the under in this game, and then a trend for everybody. The New York Mets, they are a nighttime team. Dating back to last season, they hit 260 during night games, went 57-37. This season, they're currently 17-9 during night games. In this matchup, their plus value, Rodon, he's good, but he's not great. He's a solid arm in that rotation. He's probably their best arm, to be honest with you. I mean, they got Schmidt, Whoever the hell else they got. Nobody really that dominant. He is one of their better pitchers, I will say. But I like the Mets here as well. I think they get it done tonight, plus value on the money line here. So look at the Mets in this one, as well as if you want a same game parlay this thing, take the under 8.5 runs in this matchup.
Really interesting that the series price on this game, by the way, the Yankees are minus 165 on the series price. Again, the Mets have been playing better baseball. They have the better record. The Yankees are coming off a West Coast road trip. I think there's a lot of things pointing the Mets' way. But when you look at that number, it's like, again, it's kind of I feel like it's kind of a trap on the Mets. Okay, I'm looking at their series price plus 135. That's very, very enticing because of all the advantages that they have and the lack of a dominant starter, really, other than Max Fried for the Yankees, who's going Sunday night. So, everything is pointing towards value with the Mets. That's why I'm a little scared. That's why that was the first game that I talked about when we were talking baseball. To me, this is the most interesting and intriguing series, not just from the standpoint that we have two really good teams, but looking at the odds, looking at the numbers. This is kind of handicapping 101 stuff, right? And we're going to find out how it plays off. Everything on the board and everything with the numbers is wow, great value with the Mets. I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing, Griffin, but it's also setting off that alarm bell. Wait a second, might be walking into a buzzsaw here. So I want to see how that plays out.
It's definitely going to be an interesting matchup tonight. If you guys don't like either of the side plays, hit the under 8.5.
Yeah, in some places you can get 9. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'll go for the 9 if I pay a little
Jack
bit.
Jack is asking about Jack Hashimoto is asking about do you trust Cade Horton or Shane Smith? Yeah, I trust them both to get their asses lit up today. The wind is blowing out in Wrigley today.
Yeah, I know. I had to think for a second.
Yeah, so the wind is blowing out today in Wrigley. The total is 11.5. So I see runs, and more runs. I generally tend to think that when you get two mediocre or bad rivals together, that usually means points, right? They get amped up, they get excited. But like I said, wind's blowing out, two mediocre pitchers. I like the over in that. I don't think they can set that total high enough today.
Don't ever bet against the Cubs during day games at home, especially on Fridays. It's going to be an absolute madhouse in Wrigley. It's going to be a shit show.
Watch you that one.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Love it.
Take the Cubs on the run line, and I'm a diehard White Sox fan. Jesus Christ.
I got in that game. I got one play. I got Moses. I'm butchering his name, Bellerosis or whatever. I'm taking the fat guy from the Cubs to hit a home run.
Okay, he just got called up.
Fat guy love. Okay, big guy love right there. I'm hoping he hits a home run.
22-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight out to center left
plus
field.
325 is what I got it at. I'm rolling with
home run.
Yep, anytime home run plus 325. That's all I got in that game, and I hate to say it, I'm old school like this. I can't bet totals over 10. 10's my number. 10. If the number's at 10, 10.5, I swipe left. I'm moving on to the game unless I just won't do it.
That's understandable. But like I said, it's one of those things where you look at that number, wow, 11.
When do you see that?
But then once you realize why, it's that number probably neither one of these starters are very good to begin with. The Cubs, they have a great lineup. I think they're still number one. They're either number 1 or number 2 in batting average and in run scores. So we know that the Cubs can hit. And then you throw out the wind here, which is always a big factor. That's why Cubs totals are the last totals to be put up by the sports books, because they got to wait till the day of and see what the wind's doing. You get that wind blowing straight out, it's going to be a home run derby today. It's going to be a softball.
Are you on the over as well, Robert?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I totally agree with you. When you see a line like that you don't ever see, there's a reason it's posted that way. 11.5. How often do we see that? Especially unless it's Colorado. Any other team that's posting 11.5 total, that usually typically means nobody's got the balls to take the over. That's when you take it. I would take the over in this game.
There was a game in Colorado. I think it was earlier this week, or it might have been last weekend, where the total was 13.5 or 14 or something like that, because it was 70 degrees and there was a 12-mile-an-hour wind blowing straight out to the field. I took the total, and there ended up being 19 runs scored or something like that. So again, it's high for a reason. The books are saying, please don't bet the over. Please don't bet the over. We're putting it high. Please don't bet it. Nope, not high enough for me.
Nice. I like that. All right. Real quick before we bounce, WNBA starts today. There's 3 games on the slate. Robert, I know you have stuff going on. You have a rated play in the WNBA. You guys do WNBA? We're new to WNBA. I'm not a.
I give it a week. I give it a week or two, and then I'll start going into WNBA.
We'll start talking a little bit more about WNBA, and then in a couple hours, 2:00 Eastern, right?
Yep.
Robert,
Yep.
2:00 Eastern. What are the odds?
Yeah, in 25 minutes, Rafael Esparza and I will be doing What Are the Odds, our live show that we do on Friday, where we take a look at things from a little bit different angle. Like it's more nuts and bolts, just numbers related, like discussing why certain numbers are set certain ways, trying to sniff out some of those trap lines, some of the stuff that we were talking about here. But it's usually good content. And we're definitely going to talk about the Preakness on that. Rafael is a fantastic horse racing better. He releases plays every week. I release plays just in the Triple Crown races. Esparza does it all year round, so we're going to get into some of the numbers on the Preakness Stakes as well. So should be pretty interesting. So in about 25 minutes, you can check that out on Docs Live.
Perfect. You guys got a little potty break. Get yourself something to hydrate, folks. I know I didn't shave. I got 15-minute notice that I would be on camera today. I'm just saying. You're lucky I got. Well, I'm not going to say I got pants.
Where's Craig?
Where is Craig? I don't know.
Craig.
All right, real quick. My vote, Craig is probably trying to overdose on Skyline Chili somewhere and down it. I know he's in Cincinnati. He's probably on a bus eating chili.
Yeah, my initial thought was Chipotle. He shut it down.
That's his other favorite. Chipotle. Every time I talk to the guy, he's complaining about the delivery guy from Chipotle. I don't understand. He's always, I don't get it. But look for some WNBA content. What are the odds in about 20, 25 minutes there live on the channel? Rafael and Craig actually did a Preakness preview on every horse, broke down like riders, trainers, this and that. There's a video on the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button because we got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe as far as content goes. And you want to know when it is. You want to catch that. Catch it while it's live. Don't forget about the free 60, docsports.com/free60. If you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Get your grandmother an account, for Christ's sake. $60. It's free. You're welcome. Also, YouTube Premium, $19.99. That's Indian Cowboy entry-level stuff. He does his thing. Those that know. Premium Plus, $49.99. You get 3 Docs Expert plays every day in video format, either a 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, brought to you live from Craig on a bus eating Chipotle. But either way, that's where you subscribe. Links in the description of the video. We will be here Saturdays, new day. We added Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Griffin, you're on the West Coast now. I'm speaking just to you.
It's be early.
Listen to me when I say this. It's 8 a.m. tomorrow. 8 a.m. Okay. All right. You just got to survive the night. Good luck unless you're against us. We appreciate everybody stopping by. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Let's go.